All right, guys, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, or afternoon, regardless. All right, so yesterday, right, we were talking about causes of the French Revolution. We've been talking about causes of the Revolution for a variety of days. Right? For many days, multiple days we've been talking about this. And we've done it through taking notes. You guys have read primary documents. You guys have read secondary sources, and that's what you did yesterday, right? You analyzed primary and secondary sources to gain a better understanding of how these causes were impacting the daily lives of French citizens. So not only did you analyze the sources as a group, I had you fill out that analysis source form, right? That source analysis form. If you could do me a favor, please, and just get that out, put your name on it, and then pass that in. So, got extras? Thank you. So, within these sources and within your notes so far, we've just been talking about causes. Causes, problems, factors. All we've been doing is complaining about the French government, right? That's all we've been doing so far. This is wrong, that is wrong. The people are poor, the people are hungry, the people are dying. What solutions have we proposed? None, right? We haven't given any solutions. We said, here are all the problems, but what have we done to fix them? Nothing, right? So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to be looking at the solutions to how to solve these problems that you read about yesterday. All right, so if you look over here on the left, right, I have for you the key terms that we'll be going over today. Now, these are new terms. You don't know these yet, but you should be on the lookout for them throughout the lesson. The Estates General, the National Assembly, and the Tennis Court Oath. Just a very brief synopsis. That Estates General, that's going to be a meeting. All right, it's essentially a meeting to discuss the problems of French society. We're going to do a little simulation of that Estates General here in a minute. Eventually, that third estate, which you read about yesterday, they're going to break away from the Estates General, and they're going to call themselves the National Assembly. We'll get to why that happens later. As the National Assembly, they're going to declare this oath called the Tennis Court Oath. Yes, that is a real thing called the Tennis Court Oath. Like I said, you don't know these terms yet. By the end of today's lesson and by the end of tomorrow's lesson, you will have these down. All right? So, with that being said, I have here for you not only the key terms, but the guiding question. All right? What questions we need to answer throughout the lesson. I've already told you a second ago that the third estate, they're going to break away from the Estates General. They're going to form their own thing called the National Assembly. Now, you might be asking yourself, what leads to that? Why would they do that? What does that even mean? That's the question we need to answer. What is the National Assembly? How is it different from the third estate? Why did the third estate break away in the first place? All right, that's our first question that we need to keep in the back of our minds. The second question we need to keep in the back of our minds is, why did the revolution start in 1789? If you remember at the beginning of the notes, we said the revolution lasts from 1789 to 1799. What happened in 1789 to start it? Why in this year did they have the revolution and not in years prior? Like I said, those two questions, we don't know the answer to yet. By the end of tomorrow's lesson, we will have them down. Okay? All right, so what I want you to do now is I want you to open up Notability to a blank new page. Blank new page in Notability. right now I just want you to copy what I'm putting up on the board. All right, just copy it down. Now you should be copying down on your blank page characteristics of a fair government. Now here's what I expect you to do now. Individually, I want you to brainstorm. And I want you to write down adjectives, behaviors, policies that you would see in a fair government. And I just want you to write them all around this, right, on your own paper. Underneath it, next to it, what would you see in a fair government? How would you describe a fair government? And I want you to do this on your own right now. You should be coming up with 2, 3, 4 terms, 4 ideas, right, about what makes a government fair. You can put these answers as complete sentences. You could throw down one word. Just want you writing down your ideas as they come to you. About 30 more seconds to finish up. All right, good. Now here's what I want you to do. With the person sitting next to you, I want you to share your ideas. If there's nobody sitting next to you, move around, find somebody, maybe join a pair that's already in progress. I just want you to share your ideas. Maybe you're coming up with the same concepts, maybe somebody has something that you don't have. Just very briefly share your ideas and explain why you chose them. All right? Spend a couple minutes to go ahead and do that.
Not selfish, impactful,
Arms feeling sore yet? If you want, this part I'm probably going to edit out anyway, so I can hold it for a second. And then if, I have this back here also. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I wish I had a stand. I can, here, I'll put it over.
just get in
Yeah?
here. And
Perfect.
this is probably right here. Yep. No, I gotta go
Perfect.
down for the,
Okay. Thank you again.
across a little bit. You're welcome. I can help.
So I'm gonna be writing up on the board. So if you want to write it up there.
All right. Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Olivia.
All right, now, you all should have things written down underneath characteristics of a fair government. Maybe they're your own ideas, maybe they're your partners. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna share them together as a class. So I'm gonna put them up here on the board. If I'm writing something down that you don't have on your own list, that's fine, go ahead and add it to it. All right, but you should be contributing as well as writing. Don't just sit there in silence. I'm looking for hands, I'm looking for answers. All right, so what were some of the things you wrote down? Laura?
Tolerant.
Tolerance? How would you describe tolerance? What is tolerance?
Like, they accept that people who do like different things, like they're tolerant of religion.
Yeah, very good, right? Accepting. Right? We're accepting of multiple people, multiple behaviors, basically.
Voting.
What's that?
Voting.
Voting, okay? Now let me ask you a question. All right? Let's take a vote. Do you guys want homework tonight? Yes or no?
No.
No, I vote yes, so you have homework. Is that the voting you're talking about?
No.
What type of voting?
Like popular vote.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Popular.
All right, good. What else? Yeah.
Protects all people.
All right. Protect. Good. Yeah. Jan?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. I have here freedoms. We have freedom of speech. What are some other freedoms that we might be asking for? Yes.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of religion. Very good. Yeah.
Well, equal rights.
Okay. Equal rights. Perfect. Bryce?
I put taxes on things that affect you.
Go ahead and explain that.
Like, if you pay taxes, you want the roads to be nicer around you, not like how Great Britain taxed the colonists all the way across for things in Great Britain.
Okay. So, fair taxation,
Yeah.
right? Appropriate taxation. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Libby.
Non-biased.
What do you mean by non-biased?
It wouldn't favor a certain, like, say, religion or race over another.
Very good. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Fair or equal punishments.
Good. Equal punishments. Now let's say you get charged with a crime. Should you have a right to defend yourself?
Yes.
Trial by jury.
Trial by jury. Good. So we should have juries. Or court. Perfect. What else? Yeah.
Fair laws.
Fair laws. Okay, good. Yeah. Lynn?
Payment to like all workers.
Good. Okay.
Equal distribution of power.
All right. So, power. If we're going to distribute it equally, right? Would we put the power in the hands of like a select few wealthy people?
No.
Or would we distribute that power amongst everybody? Amongst the people, right? We give the power back to the people. Exactly. Yeah, Jalen?
Fair systems.
Fair systems, explain.
So like, the nobles and the peasants, they shouldn't have to be born into that stuff. Like, they can work their way up to become that.
All right, so, opportunities. these characteristics of what we would consider to be a fair government. Would you all agree that if we put all these characteristics together, we would have a fair government?
Yeah.
Would you guys want to live in a nation where this is the government?
Yeah.
Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a simulation. We're gonna look at how the French government worked at the time just prior to the revolution. Now, as we're doing this simulation, I want you to keep these characteristics in the back of your mind. Remember, we said this is a fair government. So remember these characteristics and compare it to what we're about to do. All right? So, we're gonna have a meeting of all the estates. We're gonna meet together. So each estate is gonna send representatives to this meeting. Now, how many estates are there? Three, very good. So we should have 3 different groups, right? So I'm gonna have you two. You are both going to be clergy members. So these 2 are in the clergy, which means they belong to which estate? First, very good. Would you 2 please go ahead and stand in that back corner of the room? All right, I'm gonna have you 3 right here down the row. You are all going to be nobles. All right, so this is our nobility, which means they're a member of which estate? The second estate. Please do me a favor and go stand in that corner over there. All right, so we have representatives from the first estate. We have representatives from the second estate. That means that you all are representatives of which estate?
Third.
The third. Now, let's say that the representation is done by population size. Which estate has the largest population?
Third.
The third. So it makes sense that the majority of you are third estate representatives, right? Okay. So we have all of our representatives here put in place. We've all met together in this one area to discuss an issue. Right, we have a problem. We need to find a solution to this problem. So here is the problem. I'm hungry. Right? I'm the king in this situation, and I'm hungry. We teach this class in the afternoon. And every afternoon I come to this class and I'm starving. So tomorrow, I want one of the groups to buy me lunch. And you're going to bring it to class. Your job is to determine which estate will buy me lunch. Okay? Now, I'm going to be hungry, okay? So I'm looking for a real nice meal. So what you need to do is to discuss amongst your representatives who's going to pay for that meal. Now, each estate, first estate, second estate, third estate, you guys need to have a unified consensus. It has to be a unanimous decision, okay? But you're deciding which estate is buying me lunch. Make sense?
Yes.
So what I want you to do, go ahead and stand up, meet with the rest of the representatives, discuss, and let me know when you have an answer. You're in the second estate. You're not talking to Hey, stop fraternizing with the other estates.
But we're like, they have the money, they was divided. But we make a whole. We can give us the money, we can make it, we can bring it.
You have 30 seconds to reach a conclusion. Good? All right. Third estate, please find your seats. First and second, stay where you are. All right. So what I'm looking for is a representative, one person from each estate to tell me who you decided on. All right, Mason, you're going to be the representative for the third estate. I'll get to you here in a second. So our first estate is over here. Who do you think should buy my lunch tomorrow?
The third.
The third estate?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What do you guys say?
Third.
The third estate? Okay. What do you guys say? Mason, second. Second estate. All right. So let's think about this for a second. We have 2 votes for the third estate. We have 3 more votes for the third estate, making 5, right? So 5 votes saying that the third estate should pay. Now we have 20 third estate members, and you voted for second estate. So the votes are 5 to 20, right? So clearly the second estate is paying for this. Now that would make sense in a fair government, right? We just said popular vote would be done in that way. But France wasn't a fair government. So here's how the Estates General worked. Each estate had 1 vote. So 3 votes total. So we have 1 vote here for the third estate. We have 1 vote here for the third estate, 2. We have 1 vote for the second estate. 1, 2 to 1. Y'all are buying my food. Does that seem fair?
No.
Yeah.
No. Now, listen, I'm not going to make you buy my lunch, okay? I'm not that mean. But it was to illustrate a point. But keep in the back of your minds, you are third estate representative. The majority of the third estate at this time is poor, is hungry, can't afford food. Their children are dying from starvation. So that's what you're experiencing at home. And then the king tells you, oh, by the way, you now have to buy my food. Are you going to be upset? Yes, right? This is the frustrations. This is what the third estate was dealing with at the time. Not only was there inequality, but the government that was put in place at this time was unfair and unjust. So they needed a revolution. Make sense? Okay, thank you, thank you. Please go ahead and find your seats. All right, go ahead and open up your notes so I can give you some more information about the Estates General meeting.